Hello, I'm David Gray, and I would normally be doing this intro shot to the video outside to give you a little bit of an outdoor type feel, but it's about 5 degrees outside, so I decided to bring the intro shot inside. For this video, we're going to revisit my hashtag TBT throwback time series, which I haven't done one of those probably in about 2 years or so. They're basically complete remakes of some of my older videos, and in this case we're going to go back and take a fresh look at the 2013 Glacier National Park trip. These are videos that I recorded in full 1080 HD back in the day, but because of restrictions on my YouTube channel, or maybe YouTube didn't even allow it, I wasn't able to upload the video in full HD. So I'd always wanted to redo some of these older videos. One of the first things I did was I stabilized the video, because even though the Panasonic video recorder that I used did a lot of things very well for its day, it was probably a 2006 design, image stabilization wasn't one of them, so that cleans up some of the shakiness in the original video that I did. On top of that, I re-edited the video completely from scratch, because even though I was halfway decent at doing editing back in the day, and probably not the greatest even today, I'm a whole lot better at doing it today than I was back then. And for the slideshow with the still pictures at the end, the original video, I uploaded them in their normal format in my little point and click camera. So they had some big wide borders on the edge of them. So now I've cropped them to 16:9 format, so you'll be able to see them full screen on an HD TV. The 2013 Glacier trip was a pretty amazing trip. It was kind of born out of the 2012 South San Juan Wilderness trip, which was really our first real Western trip that we did. That last night at Blue Lake in the South San Juan Wilderness, we came up with the idea of heading to Glacier in 2013, completely unaware of everything that had to be done in terms of planning for the trip, permits and everything. So without really knowing any better how difficult it was to get permits, I applied for what was called the Great Northern Circle Loop, which is really probably one of the best loop hikes in the entire world that you can do, and also probably one of the most difficult permits that you can get at Glacier. So I sent my application in. They were all paper documents back then, and lo and behold, I get a notice from the National Park Service that I had been awarded my actual trip that I had. And not only did I get the Great Northern Circle Loop, which is kind of like getting a golden ticket in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, I got it on the exact days that I wanted, right in the smack in the middle of August, which is prime hiking season at Glacier National Park. The Great Northern Loop is a 52-mile hike that we ended up doing in 5 days, and there's 4 2,000 to 2,500 foot climbs, basically one each day, that you have to do. And so physically, I'm just not sure that I would even be able to do it again. And the fact that I was able to do it with my son Christian, basically right after he graduated from high school and before he was getting ready to go off to college, made it even extra special. So with that, let's go back and take a fresh look at the 2013 Glacier National Park hike, the Great Northern Circle. Heading up the Many Glacier Road, about a mile from the trailhead. Like I say, this is what we're going to be hiking in. Not bad scenery. Wow. Let the show begin. We made it to the trailhead parking lot. As you can see, there's not many spare spots around here. It took about 20 laps. Pretty much typical for most places we've been at Glacier, sadly. There's the bear spray. We're going to be getting away from all of these people here for 5 days up in that stuff. So, getting ready to get going. We're rolling. The trip has begun. It's kind of smoking hot, and you can see a 50% chance of thunderstorms, so maybe the weather will get interesting. We're on the epic journey now, so it's just getting started. 52.2 miles to go, according to our permit. Well, just getting started, but here's the scene. All uphill so far, gradual and hot. Got to be high 80s. Yeah, I found a little pretty lake. Lots of people here. Not the secluded wilderness experience, huh? But we're heading up that way. Pretty casual. Well, I think the trail must start going up, because we are surrounded by mountains and we've reached the end. And I think the Granite Park Chalet is on top of that top part. So up we go.
weather's starting to look a little more threatening in that direction. And we found the trail here too. That's where we're going to go up that cliff. In that area is where the shot was that Lynn Weldon got, I think. You can see the trail there going along into the end and then back up. That's where we're heading. It looked like a long way uphill. Taking a little breather. You really can't see it real well, but that's the trail up there. We're heading straight up that cliff. One switchback at a time. Real pretty. Hear the sound of all those waterfalls and the water coming down. That's where we were, down at those lakes. Kind of hard not to pull the camera out at every switchback. See it heading up into the rocks. That's the trail, and it might be our very next switchback. That's where we're heading, to the very top there. Should be fun when we get on the edge of that cliff, huh? That's where you'd go down if you stumble. Kind of hard not to just pull the camera out all the time. Heading up there. Well, now we're getting to the fun part. Somebody coming down. I don't know if you can see him up there out at the corner in the red right by the waterfall. There's some perspective. There's some perspective here. I don't know. That doesn't do it justice. I'm letting my heart rate come down from 200 beats a minute. I caught up to Christian. Hey Christian, be careful. You don't have any idea what's on the other side of that is nothing. You can't really tell, but I can't tell you how nervous that makes me. Oh, that's creepy. We still got a ways to go. It's not a bad view, huh? That's where we were, down at those lakes. Started way up there. Some people coming down. You can see the storms. I don't know what we're going to get when we get over the other side of the mountain here. Can you see all the switchbacks all the way to the bottom? Right there's the bridge we crossed. Getting there. Give you a true trail experience here. That's the view if you look off to the side. Just to show you where we're going after all that climbing. It doesn't give up. Still a ways to go. I can tell you what that probably means. I've learned that anytime there's a big pile of rocks, it means we've reached the summit. That's, I think, what they would call an epic climb. We've been climbing for, I don't know, 2 hours, and this is the top. 2,500 feet from that bridge we crossed down there. There might have been a 10-foot stretch when it went downhill, but it was uphill, probably 8 to 15% grade the entire time for 2 hours. One more mile to go to Granite Park Chalet and the campground and home for tonight. You know, there's the other thing Christian does. He's got so much energy. We went 7 miles uphill that whole time, and then he wants to climb to the top over there to see what's on the other side, he said. Not a trivial bonus hill he's doing, because here's the trail. He's got some energy, I'll tell you. Well, that's the trail down there, and just through the trees is the Granite Park Chalet. Here's the setting it's in. Kind of like Alps-like, isn't it? The campground's, I assume, right next to the chalet down there somewhere. Here's the scene. Not exactly like hiking in Indiana. Oh, there's Christian in my shaky view. And let me pull back and show you what the backdrop is. And we're at the Granite Park Chalet. Kind of on top of the world, huh? Wow. The only way to get here is walk. What we did are 8 miles from Logan Pass. Here's the scene out front. We're just lounging at the chalet here. Christian's eating his Skittles. I bought a Gatorade. I think you can hear the wind. We're waiting to see if that storm comes in. The campground is down the hill over there, so that's going to be a little more of a hike, but quite a setting here, huh? Pretty cool. Well, here's the scene. Granite Park, our first campsite. Really, I'll show you the extent of the campground. See that pack down there? That's the end of it. There's another site here that's currently unoccupied and some people down there. The food preparation area is even a little further, but not much. That's the last site. That's it. 1, 2, 3, and 4. It's a whole campground. This is the trail to the pit toilet. I haven't found it yet. It's down there. You can see probably about another 2 hours. It's going to be a real spectacular sunset over those mountains. The water source is just down there, probably about 100 yards. We'll head down to the food preparation area here in a bit and have our snacks and dinner, and probably head back here and just kind of hang out for a while and call it a day. It's beautiful. It's cool talking to everybody. It's cool having people around. Here's the scene. Beautiful. Up in the mountains at Glacier. Dream come true. Making the cheddar cheese spread. Checking the maps. Here. 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 Back to the car. This is the up close and personal wildlife scenario here. He's looking for something in their campsite, which happens to be about 20 feet from our campsite. So.
What is funny is when they hesitate and then they lift both shoes.
Our all-American burger wrap.
They go to college in Canada?
Canada.
Yeah, the French-Canadian way is you go to the same city.
Uh-huh.
I live in the same city as
Yeah.
my 6 siblings.
Okay.
That's how we do it. This is perfectly good universities here.
Uh-huh. Exactly.
Christian just got back from chasing the deer who was eating this guy's pack over here because they love salt. But the deer was like grabbing his pack and chewing it. There's the deer. He's not going far. You know, he's going to be hanging out tonight. You think, oh, what a pretty deer. I think of him like a rat. Here's the scene. We just got back from our first social dinner in Glacier. Very, very cool if you ask me, but look at this. I don't know if that does it justice, but it's going to be a beautiful sunset. Christian's getting ready to go up to the chalet to get a sunset picture. I have to take all of the trash and food bags down to the cooking area where we just were, which is maybe 50 yards that way, and hang it. Look in the background here, I don't know if you can see it, but that's a thunderstorm. And there's a mountain over there, and then there's going to be a spectacular sunset over the mountains with the clouds. Christian, actually, you can tell he's got like 2 layers of shirts on, and he's got his long underwear and long pants, and we're getting ready to get the down parka on. And it isn't that cold, by the way. It's probably 50 degrees. I'm not sure that this will do it justice. It's a spectacular, just beautiful sunset. We've been down socializing, kind of getting accustomed to the Glacier social aspect here, where everybody just kind of hangs out together at the food preparation area. There's the chalet. And Christian hiked up there. It's about 400 feet uphill. He was going to hang out up there. It's kind of a nice setting. They got picnic tables and like a dining area kind of thing. But that's the campground loop trail. It really is nothing more than just the trail to the campground. That's like a big circle from the chalet. Everything is up or down here, but up the hill about there is where it connects with the Highline Trail. And then we're gonna go that way down there tomorrow. This is the trail that you take in to the campground, so you can see kind of the setting. There's one site. That was the other site, the red tent. Ours is the third, and there's only one more. There's only 4 sites. Granite Park Campground, and there's the map. Well, this is the early morning view. I'm about halfway up to the chalet, but that's the chalet. But not a bad view to wake up to. I'm gonna head up to the chalet to try to get a sunrise, or as the sun rises over those mountains. I think the colors will just be spectacular. Oh, early morning warm-up exercise. Here's kind of the view from the top of the hill. As the colors just start to come on, change from blue to pink. This is what the camera does without any adjustments. On auto mode now, so that's much brighter. The other one was much more representative of what it looks like. It's just starting to get light. I'm heading over there, the Granite Park Chalet, because I'm hoping they have coffee. You know what motivates me to do that sort of a climb in the morning? I can't see the campground, but it's down in there somewhere. Oh, that's cool. Got the fur on the antlers and everything. I think he knows I'm here now. He doesn't seem to care too much. Hey, oh my. Hello. Wow. Check this guy out. There's the scene. Everybody getting breakfast ready. Food preparation area. Oh, there's the sun. It's orange with a big orange halo around it. I'm not sure if the old red sky at night, sailor's delight, red sky and morn, sailors take warn. That's definitely an unusual sunrise. We'll see what happens today. Well, we're just getting ready to head out on day number 2, but I wanted to show you this special feature of the camp and the view. But when they have the sign that says to the toilet, they don't mean an outhouse. Our camp is, up in there, so it's probably 60 yards away, but it's a special thing when you get to do that. And the nice view when the sunset was going last night. But there's the scene. We're just getting ready to head out. Well, here's what's left of our camp, and the entire camp. We're the last to leave, but getting ready to head out on day number 2 to 50 Mountain. Excited? Mm-hmm. Day number 2. Just finished the climb up from the campground to the Highline Trail, which is what this is. So now we're heading to 50 Mountain. So what do we find ourselves in? I think that's all a forest fire with burned out trees. There could be pine beetles. I don't know. 11 miles up this way. Here we go. Hiking in they call this a scree field. There's Christian. There's the trail. So heading up to that saddle. That's what this day is, just 500 feet up like this. You can't tell how steep it is. It's pretty steep, and we've been doing this for about the last mile. And then 500 feet down. See all the dead trees from the fire. Not a bad scene, huh? Well, we reached the top. Here's the panorama view. Not a bad scene to be hiking in. The sound of hiking. That's all you hear, crunch, crunch. A long ways down. As you can see at the bottom there, it's kind of a drop off right there at the base. I don't know if you can see the trail. The line all the way there. Zoom in really quick. That's where we'll be walking. Very cool, right around that saddle. What a scene. Sure makes you feel small. Well, that's what we just were on. Gives you a better perspective of what the trail was carved into. A little spooky, huh? Well, we've reached the other side. That's where the trail's cut into. And it gives you the heebies. Right over there is that snow we crossed. The trail goes right along the top of that cliff there and up. I think you can see it going up to the top. Well, here's what the trail has become on the other side. That waterfall there. That trail goes right through it. That's way down there. So we're going to be going downhill for a while to get there. That's at least 500 feet below us. A little downhill for a while after that last big long uphill. Always the adventure. At the waterfall that we saw from way over there. We're an hour and a half farther from there. You can see the trail, I think. Wound all the way around up that canyon and up the hill, and maybe we got about another hour maybe to go to 50 Mountain. We passed a whole bunch of people that have been coming from 50 Mountain. There was a grizzly bear, a small 2-year-old or so grizzly bear in their camp last night at the food preparation area. And the people we just passed said right up there's a saddle, one of these corners right before you go down to 50 Mountain, and there was about a 500-pound grizzly bear, they said, female. Maybe we'll get to see one here pretty quick. I'll make sure Christian will go first. Not bad scenery. Not a lot of shade. And it's gotten a lot warmer. You can see the forest fire evidence. I think we're going all the way to the end of this. And then we drop down somewhere. And I think it's maybe the saddle on the other side there. We've been climbing for a long time. Every time you're around a bend and you think you're there, it looks like this again. That is bear scat. That's what it looks like. Like all berries, they eat a lot of berries. I wonder if Christian noticed that. After what seemed like climbing for the last 2 hours, because we probably were climbing for the last 2 hours, top of the saddle right there. Just down the other side of that saddle is 50 Mountain Campground. Put it in perspective, you see the snow over there. We climbed right at the base of that, and that was after 5 miles. I think we rounded the bend, like way down there. It's just been a brutal climb. Christian's at least a half mile out in front of me. Look at the scenery. My God, and we got it all to ourselves. That's why they call it 50 Mountain Campground, I think. Sure looks like you can see about 50 of them. Well, that last summit was not the summit. That was way down there. We rounded that corner and found out we had another climb to do, but I think this is the summit. It's down there somewhere, so we're heading down hard now. It can't be too much farther. God, that was the longest 13 miles, 12 miles. It's down there somewhere. There's the trail going downhill sharp. All right, let's go find it. Well, we survived the day, and this is our campground at 50 Mountain. Christian is opening up the cheese spread right on cue. Unbelievably long day. That line you see on the mountain up there is what we came down after the final pass. But we're coming back to life. We were both kind of dead when we pulled into camp, and we're getting our second wind here, so I got to go over and get my cheese cracker stuff before Christian eats it all. Christian's hanging out in camp. I wanted to show you this, my makeshift clothesline to get everything out in the sun. The sun's still really warm. I still see the trail we came down. Here's kind of the scene. The camp's kind of much more spread out than yesterday. There's 2 sites up there, the 1 site there, our site, and there's another one. I can't really see it, but it's back in the woods there. And then there's a 6th one. Food preparation area is down that hill, and then if you go down beyond the food preparation area, There's a stream right here across the stream, and there's another campsite on the other side. Anyways, we're getting ready to go eat dinner. Well, here's the scene for dinner. This is the sun setting behind the clouds there. This is the standard community cooking area. There's Christian in the black. It's what you do every night. Just hang out with that kind of a backdrop and eat dinner together. Well, this is the view from just a little bit away from the food preparation area. Trail junction sign. But see if I can do this one more shot with give you a little better idea. This makes it a lot brighter, especially the sky. But wow. Well, here's the early morning view of day number 3. This is 50 Mountain Campground. The weather's kind of threatening, but this is the campground. We're heading up that direction, right where all those ominous looking clouds are, which the camera makes look a lot less dark than they are. Heading to Stony Indian Lake today. Day number 3. I'm sure it'll be another epic one. Rain is falling in the mountains. I'm not sure it's going to do this all day.
That's a good moment to capture.
I'm looking for a dry spot under the trees. Cooking breakfast in the rain. There's my Dunkin' Donuts coffee. Sun's out. There's a view of our camp. I had all the clothes on the clothesline, but I realized it'll dry a lot quicker in the sun right there. Well, here we are getting started on day number 3. Beautiful day it looks like. Look at that. Again, here's what's left of the tent site. We're clear and ready to go. Off to Stony Indian. Nice little backdrop to start the morning. Had a walk in the woods, in the mountains. Not a bad backdrop to be hiking in, huh? Boy, is it exposed. And boy, is it going to be hot. There's the saddle we came over. Up there. Look what we stumbled upon. So we're heading up that way. I think all downhill from here. We came upon this old house or shelter of some sort. Look at the day. Oh, wow. We're just uphill all the way from camp. Kind of overgrown right here. A little dangerous because you can't see the trail so well. Heading over there. Found a bridge and a stream, taking a little bit of a break before we start going uphill. Been going downhill for about the last 2 hours, 1,900 feet. Kind of tears your feet apart. We made it to Stony Indian. Christian's off getting water. Well, he was kind of exploring. I think he was taking a bath in the lake there. But where we came from on the last climb, the lowest point down there, which you can't even see. Well, here, I'll zoom out, show you as low as you can see. And then it was probably another 800 feet below that. 1,900 feet, I think, straight up this hill, right up this canyon. To say it was an ass whipper is an understatement. Because unlike the first day where the average gradient was probably 8 to 10%, this was right off the bat 15 and it never let up. It just went straight up this valley. Did you get water?
Yep.
You cleaned off?
Yep.
Very nice. He's all ready to go. Cleaned the clothes, did the laundry. But the lake's just on the other side here. We'll exit tomorrow at the highest point over there in that saddle. That's called Stony Indian Pass. It's about a 600-foot climb. That's how we get to start the morning tomorrow. But that is the highest point of our day tomorrow. So after that, it's like 2,500 feet downhill. Here's Stony Indian Lake. This is the trail that heads off that direction. but it goes around to the other side over there and then switchbacks all the way up to there. And then we'll be downhill after that all the way to Elizabeth Lake tomorrow. Stony Indian Lake. Pretty. Christian wanted to climb up there. I realize it's a 3,000 foot climb to the peak, but look at that's a nice little thunderstorm style brewing somewhere. You never know what's going to come over the top of this. Alright, breaking out the cheese spread. It's kind of like the highlight ritual of the evening. We're just kind of hanging and eating our cheddar cheese spread. Starting the evening. Dinner at Stony Indian. Christian's got the all-American burger wrap, and I've got the Musalaki goulash in honor of Lynn Weldon when he did this trail. This was his favorite meal. Eating dinner at the food prep area at Stony Indian, all by ourselves. Beautiful night. Well, you might wonder what we do out here after we've eaten dinner and we're looking for something to do, but here's what we do. We wait for the sun to set in a pretty spectacular setting. The sun's probably going to go behind those mountains in about 15 minutes or so, and I think the colors will get pretty cool. Not a bad setting. Stony Indian Lake. We're about a couple hundred yards from our campsite. Well, it's the morning of day number 4, and that's what greets us. Getting the coffee ready in the morning. That doesn't seem real stable. Dunkin' Donuts coffee, the nectar of the gods. Not that much. Now we just wait for the water to boil. That's what camping is all about. However, I don't know, maybe a quarter of a way up the climb. That's where we're heading. That's the saddle up there somewhere. That's the top. I think you can see the trail along the edge of the lake. We camped. Rocky area over there is the path to the food preparation area, so that's where we camped, down on that low point. That's just getting the day started. Day number 4, long day. Well, this is the view from the top of the pass. Stony Indian Pass. There's the lake. You can see the trail along the lake. Good way to start your morning with a 600 foot climb. Well, here's the view on the other side of Stony Indian. Not a bad morning view, kind of a cloudy day. We're heading down the second Stony Indian Pass, and you can see all those lakes down there. There's a series of like 3 of them. That's what we walked the whole last part of the day, like 10 miles. A very nice photo opportunity here. Not bad, huh? Kind of like one photo op after another here. Glacier just keeps on giving. But we're heading down there. Whole day will be along those lakes at the bottom. You can probably see this is another that'll drop again after this lake. So we head down there, and then I don't know if you can see it, the trail's down there, and we'll head down there for part of the day. Oh, he makes it look easy. Show you my technique. Oh, this is creepy. Not a bad view. That's what the trail is like. Now that we're at the base, we got miles and miles of this. And then that is the first of 2 lakes we come to. That's Glen Lake. It's kind of nice because it's not overgrown with vegetation. It's flat as anything you'll find in Glacier. And it's pretty quick going. We're hiking at least 3 miles an hour. Really nice, hiking on some flat stuff on the knees and the feet and everything. We just passed, what was that place called? Monacoas?
I don't know.
Monacoas Junction Campground. There was a trail junction to Monacoas Lake, and then we got Glen Lake Head and Glen Lake Foot campgrounds. And we go around the corner and head over to Elizabeth Lake, but I think we got about 8.5 miles to go. Not quite halfway, but close, and we're going a lot faster than we were. Well, this is Cosley Lake. It's become beautiful again, which also means it's become hot again. Up there in that beautiful, beautiful area with the waterfalls and everything, that's right where we came from this morning. That was when we'd already hiked about 4 miles, actually, by the time we got to there. We still got about probably 4 miles to go. Well, we get to do a little ford action here. The feet, are officially wet. We're at the end of Cosley Lake. It's running pretty good. That's pretty cold. I'm not sure what falls this is, but it's after a long climb up to Elizabeth Lake, which I think is on the other side here. Well, this is our campground at Elizabeth Lake Foot. Here's the lake. The image quality and the sound quality has changed dramatically on the video, but I've only got a couple minutes left on the camera, and I want to save those for the Ptarmigan Tunnel tomorrow, the real scenic stuff. So I thought I'd share the camp with you with my little point and click camera. We're just hanging out. We just got into camp not too long ago. It's probably 4:30. You can see in the background, that's Elizabeth Lake. Got the clothesline strung, 2 of them, for all the wet clothes, and we'll probably clean everything up before tomorrow and put it here. Well, that's a reflection of tomorrow, because up there, and I think it's actually on this hill somewhere, right on the, probably, I don't know where it is, but I think that's where the Ptarmigan Tunnel is, where we got to go out. But this is Elizabeth Lake. Our campsite is, well, I just talked with these people who are from Michigan. Our campsites are like right in there. Food preparation areas here. This is what we're surrounded by. It's a beautiful lake. I don't know, this just probably doesn't do it justice, but I only got a couple minutes left. I'm going to save some of it for tomorrow, but I wanted to show at least some of this in high definition. Just kind of waiting out the storm in the tent. Oh, I thought Christian was doing Sudoku, but it's getting closer. But now we're waiting for it to stop thunderstorming so we can eat dinner and not die. Waiting to eat dinner. Doesn't sound like it's lighting up. We could go to bed, go to sleep if we had eaten dinner. Kind of also overwhelmed our little vestibule area.
12-ounce boiling water.
It finally broke out. I'm sure this makes it unbelievably lighter than it really is, but it's still raining, but we found a nice shelter under a tree, Cody Lundeen style, which is actually pretty dry. So we broke out and we're gonna do dinner here. Here's the scene. Day number 5, we're heading up there. Ooh, good one. Sun's finally come up. Still, you can tell from the fog over there that it's still cold. We want to get going before it starts baking hot, because we are heading up there. That's just where the Ptarmigan Tunnel is. Day number 5, last day. Beautiful day to finish it off. Well, mounting up for the last day. Boy, was it a wet night. You can see it's a perfect day today. It's going to be smoking hot because we're going to be exposed up there, heading up to the Ptarmigan Tunnel. Getting ready to go. I think about 5 hours to the car. We'll see, maybe a little more. Ready? Mm-hmm. Last day, here we go. The start of the morning. Christian handles it a lot better than I did, I think. I think I got it a little out of cadence there. Walking up the Ptarmigan Tunnel trail. Ptarmigan Trail. Christian's up ahead somewhere. Cool morning. was around 40 this morning, which is by far the coolest it's been. It's probably no more than 45 now. Perfect conditions to do this 2,500 foot climb. This is one of the climbs that doesn't fool you much. You know, you're just going to be hiking up for about 3 hours probably, and hiking down for about 2 and change. Don't expect anything flat. If you get like a 4% grade like I'm on now, that just puts a smile on your face. There's Elizabeth Lake down there. I can't judge the height, but maybe 500 feet. Pretty soon we'll get on the exposed rock up here. And then there won't be any trees, which would be nice because the sun's not really hot yet. It's just all walking through wet. It's kind of nasty. Speaking of nasty, look at what we got to go through now. I don't imagine that vegetation's going to be dry, huh? Well, here's the scene. I don't know how far that is. Right about there is where we started. I found Christian. I don't know, I'd say we're 1,000 feet up. That looks like about 1,000 feet. The walk in the mountains. Heading up there somewhere. Still haven't quite figured out where, but out in the sunshine at least feels really good. That's where we're going. Quick panorama here before my batteries go. Here's Elizabeth Lake. This campground way down there. Not bad scenery to be hiking in. Ptarmigan Tunnel, we think is either that peak or maybe even this one. Still trying to figure it out. Oh, maybe one last shot before battery dies. The Ptarmigan Tunnel's up there. You can probably see that line. That's the trail. And here's the scene. There's Christian. Not a bad view, huh? That's Helen Lake, 4-mile hike from Lake Elizabeth, one way, each way. Out and back, you have to be dedicated to do that. We're heading up there. The last stretch to the Ptarmigan Tunnel, which is right there. A little idea of how steep it is. But here's the scenery. There's some people, ranger, just checked my permit for the first time. I'm gonna save a little battery for the tunnel if I can. It's flashing, I'm almost out. Puts it in perspective a little bit. Almost there. Or at least it feels like it, relatively speaking, but that's what the wall looks like. Not as intimidating when you get close. Kind of the last few before the battery runs out, but we're on the home stretch. I think Christian's already up there. That's where we came from. There's those people, there's the ranger. That's Elizabeth Lake. We're 2,000 feet below. Quite spectacular. Gotta get there. We are nearing the end of the Ptarmigan climb. Look, that's where we started down there. Bye. 2,500 feet up. And thankfully they kind of make it not as steep at the top. But that's the tunnel up there. That's the cliff we're walking on. Show you what it looks like. I won't get too close. Well, we'll see what's on the other side. Sure pretty scenic on this side. Now here's the scene at the Ptarmigan Tunnel. Spooky.
Yeah.
Oh, look at the scene down there. That's where we started.
Yeah, we camped on the lake.
Oh, way down there. We're halfway, 2,500 foot climb. All right, Christian, let's get the other side. Well, I waited a long time to be able to do this, but we are walking through the Ptarmigan Tunnel over to the other side. I know this is 180 feet of boredom on the video probably, but you're gonna have to hang with me because I've paid a heavy price to be able to film this. Here will be the view of the other side. Hi! Very cool. Wow, just as cool on this side. Yeah. Wow.
We came from Elizabeth Lake.
Oh man, Glacier keeps on giving, huh? Well, here's the view on the other side. There's the other end of the Ptarmigan Tunnel. And all I can say is Glacier just keeps on giving. Just spectacular. Battery's about to run out, but what a great shot to end it on if this is it. We're heading down now. Well, that's a first. Wow, I don't even see where the tunnel is from here. We haven't found it yet. Or did we? Oh, we are back in civilization. Here's the car. Then we are going to go in there and eat. What do you think, Christian? Good trip?
Yeah, it's nice.
We made it. It's an awesome trip. Can't even describe it, but feels awful good to be here. So we're gonna decompress here for a second, and then we're gonna go in the old Swift Current motor in and see if we can find some cheeseburgers and french fries or something. But fantastic trip. Awesome. Everything I was hoping. Epic.